researchers independent of your project. So the second research is conducting on the data which is already available. So we are collecting is a just statement, but quantitative research, it is always a measurable outcome which is given in the proper significant values. So it is called as quantitative research. So primary research, second research, both can be qualitative and quantitative. So that is about the scientific writing and the regulatory writing we have seen to you. And next one is medical marketing writing. As I told you, it is just for marketing purpose, which is not having any structure. You can write as you want it. And this medical marketing writing is for promotional purpose. So if you want to promote anything, any product, any device, any medication, then you can write a document. You can prepare some video script. You can prepare some brochures. You can prepare some visual ads. You can prepare some news blogs, health blogs, or manuals about that product. You can market it. So medical marketing writing are documents used for exchange of information between the pharma organizations and doctors, patients, and us. And these are all called as promotional writings. So which are including majorly product monograph, then leave behind literature, information, anything that is you can market in the literature. You can put in the any document related to journals or any website literature. If anybody is searching, leave behind literature means, for example, if anybody is searching something, they will give some ads. If you're trying to search something in the Google now, so in the main in the sidewise you can see some ads. So that is called as leave behind literature, because somebody is searching something and you are giving ad there, and it comes under leave behind literature. Then brochures and visual ads, newsletters you can prepare, and health blogs, sales training manuals for the patients, physicians, and electronic module for patients, physicians. So all these documents writing comes under medical marketing writing. So these are all used for the promotion purpose of the any medication or product or device. Got it? So for these medical marketing writing, there is no need of any regulations. There is no specific format. No specific regulation, no specific format is there for the medical marketing writing. As it is a promotional, you can make it out as much as the content which can attract the audience. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is about medical marketing writing. It's a small information, not much. But if you want to work as a medical marketing writer, then what are the skills you should have for the best practice in the medical marketing field? So as you should have, first you should understand who is your target audience to write some promotional content. First you should understand who is your target. If your target is regulatory body, then you are writing the content which is unable to understand by the regulatory body. And if your target is patients and you are writing the content as it's longer than the one which is unable to understand by the patient. So the thing we should focus is target audience first. So whatever you are writing now, first you should focus on the target audience, and based on that only you have to write. And then indications, which indication you are writing, which disease you are writing, which condition you are writing, which product you are writing, you should have knowledge about it. And if any suggestions from the clients also you have to take care. So you have to consider and analyze target audience, indications that you are working on, and suggestions by the client, if the client can give any suggestion. Got it? Then literature search also you have to do. For example, you want to work on some medical device for the COVID-19 related. You don't know anything about it, you can do some literature search. and find some information from the literature, so that it will help you to, okay, this is the information we have, and this is the process we have to do, this is the process we have to do. So literature search always helps you to understand the content of the research, and some background verification you can do, and you can get some background information about it. So literature search you can do. Then prepare the outline, and then you can summarize the research findings, and then finalize the message to the audience. Got it? Then apart from that, you should also have some scientific knowledge. As you are a medical writer, marketing writer, you should have some scientific knowledge and efficient in English writing skills, and creative knowledge and journalistic knowledge also should have, because it's a promotional part. So if you want to become a medical marketing writer, you should have these skills to analyze the target audience, understand the indications, getting the suggestions from the client, do some literature for any background verification or background understanding of the disease, preparing the content and summarizing the content and giving a message to the target audience. Got it, no?
Yes, sir.
Next, apart from that, what are the tips you can take as a medical writer? So to successfully write the things, you can have some tips from the your seniors or somewhere. First thing is, as you are a medical writer, you should understand the expectation of the client, what the client is expecting. For example, client is expecting like this, and if we definitely need to work on a plan to give the best to the client. First, we should understand what the client is expecting. If the client is expecting 20% of the content only, then give only 20%. Don't give 100% content which is unwanted. Then client will feel, I know now which I want, which I don't want. I'm asking only the data which I wanted is this, and why you are writing this all information. For example, if the client has given the information only write about treatments for diabetes, and to get impression, you have written what is diabetes, what is the diagnosis of diabetes, what is the pathology of diabetes, what are different things, and then you have written a small part is treatments. Is it good way of writing? Is it a good way of doing the work? No, because client expectation not about diabetes definition or diabetes background or diabetes diagnosis. If it is needed, then he will ask. No? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we should understand what client is expecting. If the client is expecting like this, try to give the outcome also like this. But don't give the outcome like this. Don't give that outcome like this. And don't give the outcome like this. All are looking same, but variation is there. So first understand the expectation of the client, what exactly is expecting. And then create a plan over the project and manage your team members. Who is working well on which task? Somebody is well at writing background. Somebody is well at writing introduction. Somebody is well at writing results. Somebody is well at writing methodology. Somebody is well at writing discussion. So who is well at what skill? Manage your skills and team management. Are you getting?
Yes,
As a medical writer, you have to know first what client is expecting from your document and create a plan for that and manage your team members properly to do it in a proper way as expectation by the client, and gather the information. If you want, go to literature, PubMed or Embase, anywhere, and get some information and use that information carefully. Use that source documents carefully to interpret the outcomes, to interpret the content of a particular research. So these are all important along with teamwork. So everybody should be in the same plate to give the best to the client. So if you are not having teamwork properly, it is going to be low quality project. It is going to be low quality work. Then again, you will get the issues at the end. So you have to make sure you are giving best to the client by teamwork also. So coordination between the team members, among the team members, which is important. Then use some skills like tools. writing tools are there. If you write some content, automatic corrections will be there, like Grammarly. You might have know Grammarly software. Do you know anyone Grammarly software?
Yes, sir.
The Grammarly is nothing but it is giving, if you are writing some content, it will give you some, if any mistake is there in the content, it will help you. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. So use some appropriate tools also. Don't do always hard work. Do smart work and do hard work, how to do the smart work. So try to use the skills. And nowadays we can have a lot of writing AI skills, artificial intelligence skills and tools. Grammarly we have, and check the plagiarism. So plagiarism also important while writing the content, because otherwise it is going to be copy paste and then copyright issue will be there. So to not have any copyright issues and not have any issues legally, so you have to make sure everything as per the standards. So use the appropriate tools also. Then have a communication with the client always. Have a communication with your team members every week, once or twice a day, twice a week, and you should have the communication at least weekly once or 2 weeks once to the client, with the client, like what we are doing is correct or not, as per the client expectation or not. Are we on the track to the client expectation or not? So have a team communication, have a client communication frequently. It helps to improve our sales, the project quality. And if anything is given by any client, feedback, whether it is negative feedback or fast feedback, and use it for the continuous adaptations, continuous learnings to yourself. And these all skills can help you the good medical writer. Got it? Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it is a very important slide. Then steps in writing any scientific documents. If you want to write any document, you should plan it accordingly. So what step you have to do first and then what you have to do next. So first you should have understanding the project. You should have the idea on the project. So what project you got? And are you having some idea about that particular disease? New project you got? New therapeutic area? Do you have the idea about that therapeutic area or not? So if you don't have the basic knowledge, then go to literature. Go to literature and review the information. For example, previously you worked for diabetes, and now you got new project oncology, cancer project you got. So terminologies will be there in the cancer as per the guidelines. We should use some terms. So in that case, you can go to their guidelines. Asthma, like cancer guidelines we have, diabetes guidelines we have. You can go to guidelines, you can get some terminology information, or you can go to literature and understand that project disease. So it will help you. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The first one is understanding the project briefly. Then literature search. If you don't understand anything, go to literature and find the information. Review the information is presenting in the literature. Then if you are using any information from any article, for example, you are taking some content from some article, then you have to give the authorship for that. That I have taken this information from this article. So this is a thing we have to keep. And then compiling the documents, if you take any documentation from different sources and compiling all this into our document is very important. And reviewing the process, whether it is going well or not. Formatting, you have to take care. Editing, you have to take care. And then you can go to approval and sign off. And you can publish the data. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These steps you have to follow if you want to write any documents. First, you have to have an idea about the project. Then go to some literature search, find information, and if you use any information, give them authorship, and then cite them in the article, and to check the documents are compiled to each or not, and then review the process of complete, and then formatting, editing, and go to sign of the project. So one by one, step by step, I have given in the appendix part. If you want to know, just go to appendix and see. Next, coming to requirements for becoming a medical writer. If you want to become a medical writer, so what knowledge you should have, what things you should have. If you want to become a medical writer, first thing you should have domain knowledge. Domain knowledge is nothing but therapeutic area knowledge, medical knowledge. Which therapeutic area you are working. If you are working in oncology, you should have oncology knowledge. Some basic terminology related to that. So domain knowledge is most important. And you should know some drug discovery process, development process, pharmacology, drug safety related, some statistical part, because we will get the values in the document and we need to interpret them. We need to interpret them in a proper way, so statistics are important. If any technical guidelines are there for the particular disease, then we need to follow that technical guidelines to give the definitions properly. For example, there are many guidelines for asthma. So technical guidelines for asthma, tell me. What are the guidelines for COPD? Technical guidelines. What are the guidelines for cancer? Technical guidelines. For asthma, we have GINA guidelines. And COPD, we have GOLD guidelines. For cancer, we have ASCO and ISMO. Okay, so this is ESMO, American Society for Clinical Oncology, European Society for Medical Oncology. Gold guidelines for COPD, asthma for GINA for asthma. So there are different guidelines based on the disease, and we need to follow them so that it will help us to understand the definitions of that particular disease. So we can understand some terminologies used on that disease. So GINA guidelines are for asthma, which is very important, and for COPD it's gold guideline. Kindly remember this, okay? Then you should have the general knowledge and skills like language, grammatical, representation, grammar, and you should also have some literature reference. You might know how to put the references in the document. You might not know, anyone? Like if you take some information from somewhere.
Yes, sir.
If you take some information from somewhere, you have to give the reference, citations. Informed students, those who have done the projects. At the end of the project, you write the reference, no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That reference you have to insert in the document by using a software, and that is called as EndNote software. There are many softwares. EndNote we have, and Riftbook we have, Manly we have. There are many softwares to give the referencing to the document. Then you should know that referencing also, because if you are writing some content or copy pasting some content from somewhere, you have to give the reference to that. Then you should also know the interpretation of the results and presentation of the data, and should also take care of legal and ethical issues. So you should have all this knowledge as a medical writer. Domain knowledge and general knowledge skills and all these things. So I've put information. If you want, you can read much about this. But as of now, this is enough for interviews. Then what makes a good medical writer? So good makes again a replication of previous 2 or 3 slides. What makes a good medical writer at the end? So these are the qualities you should have a medical writer. Ability to understand the purpose and requirement of the project. You should know and should be able to understand what is the purpose of this, what is the requirement of this. Then ability to write at level of appropriate target audience. You have to write the content as need of the audience and as understood by the audience. Then thorough research about the subject like which you are writing, and you should be able to think logically and present ideas in a in a best way. so that it's easy for understanding. Also, it can be easily captured by the audience. Then scientific accuracy, attention to the details. What you are writing, you should know. So just you should not write as you want, and you have to follow the things, and the statements should be very clear. And should have the ability to work across the teams globally, and even independently also, because as a medical writer you are going to work with big companies, and they will be from different regions, different countries. So you should have the capability to communicate with them, and should have work independently whenever it is necessary, and should have a good coordination with various people in the process of your research, and you should have the good time management skills and meeting the deadlines and commitments of the project. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So as a medical writer, these all which are very important. If you go to interview, definitely these questions will be there in the interview. So that's it of your complete medical writing. So at the final conclusion of this medical writing, so medical writing based on the target audience, we have divided regulatory writing, scientific writing, medical marketing writing, and academic writing. So regulatory writing is important for us, and scientific writing. These two are important for pharma field majorly. And regulatory writing, which are for regulatory submission, which include protocols, reports, safety narratives, and patient leaflets. And scientific writing, primary, secondary manuscripts, conference abstracts, posters, and slide decks, and medical marketing writings and academic writings. So what are the sections in the protocol? What are the sections in the report? What are the sections in the manuscript? We already seen. So that's it. So any questions? It's a small domain. Nothing much is there to learn this. It's based on the project, the writing skills, and you have to improve majorly you have to improve the knowledge of the domains, like which domain you are working, and understanding the research representation. So research representation is very, very much important, because if you don't understand the process or procedure of the research, and you may not able to conclude that research. So as a medical writer, you have to understand the research first. So what they are doing. So this, let's say for example, this document is written by medical writer. So this all information they will give just simply values. So they will simply give these values of placebo, this value of investigation drug. This is at 28 weeks. This is at 48 weeks. And you have to write a content based on that values. So what that values is indicating, whether it is decreasing the glucose levels significantly or whether not reducing. So based on that value, you have to create your own way of writing behind that topic. So try to read this paper, which is very important, and how to conduct clinical trial, the procedures which we are including in the clinical research, and different activities we do, and what is the importance of this course you learned in the clinical research. You will come to know. Okay, so that's it for the day. And at 9 o'clock you will have this ITS resume preparation. So just have the dinner and be ready for the class at 9 o'clock. I just take only 30 minutes class. So join it without missing. That resume template is very important. ATS friendly resume template, and you have to prepare that template very soon and send me when I ask to a resume for the companies. And we will discuss the remaining things in that class. As of now, any questions apart from that? Yes.
So there's that in regulatory writing, the documents of protocol and clinical study reports and informed consent form and student council. But in the criteria, all these are under scientific documents.
Yes. I told these are under scientific documents also.
Okay.
First, regulatory writings, first we will submit to regulatory body. Then after the trial is completed, confidentiality is submitted, confidentiality is over, and that information we need to put in the scientific domains. Same documents will be publishing in the scientific journals, so that everyone can read them. Got it?
Sir, will medical writers will write in the CTD format?
Medical writers, CTD is a format. Medical writer will not write a CTD format. Medical writing will write the content, and submission is done in the CTD. That is a part of regulatory affairs. CTD submission is a regulatory affairs part. Medical writers will write the documents. CTD is a template of preparing the dossiers. For example, sections will be there, like quality reports and all. So they will write the quality documents, but that document arrangement is done as per the CTD by regulatory affairs professionals. So we'll see there. Got it?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any others? So try to know everything what I mentioned in the medical writing class. It's a small part, but you can directly get the questions. So major questions from the medical writing is, tell me what are the responsibilities of medical writer, tell me the documents of regulatory writing, and what you will write in the introduction, what you will write in the methodology, what you will write in the results, what you will write in the conclusion, and tell me the guidelines for medical writing of regulatory, and tell me the guidelines for scientific writing, and tell me the difference between the primary and secondary research, and tell me some documents of medical marketing writing, and which guidelines you will follow for medical marketing writing. No guidelines will be there. And tell me what, if I give one project of medical writing, how we will process it. So what is the way of completing the project? So these are the questions you can expect. Okay? That's it. Okay, chalo for now. Bye for now, and we'll meet at 9. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.